What is going on, everybody? It's Monday night, which means it's time for another Toypixx live stream. And for tonight, I'm going to be talking about how to be an action figure snob. That's right. We're going to talk about what we think of when we're all trying to decide what we're going to pick up. Because let's be honest, right now, everybody is making really cool stuff. And at a certain point, the wallet's going to stab us all. So we have to figure out what are those criteria that make us think, oh man, even though that's really cool, I can't get it. That sort of deal. Just to try and maybe curate the collection a little bit so you don't have just a bunch of stuff on your shelves that you might look at once, maybe stand once, and well, that's it. So we're just going to talk about how everybody kind of discerns what's going in their collection in this age of just excellent action figures because, man, it's tough. So if you're catching this on the replay, comment and let us know what are some of your guidelines for how not or what figures to not pick up. Now, with all that said, it's time to get to the chat. Let's see how the gang's doing. Let's see how everybody's partying, if everybody's having fun. Tommy, what's up, sir? Thank you for stopping in this fine evening. It's going to be fun. Sci-fi. Greetings and toytations, everyone. NECA will be releasing a Frankenstein's Monster and the Bride in Color 2-pack for $60 to be released February 14th, 2026 to celebrate the 90th anniversary of Universal Studios Patchwork King and Queen. Hasbro will not be doing a PulseCon this year. I saw that as a rumor, but I mean, yeah, sounds like maybe that's a thing. Last week, the Classified Legacy Office was available for pre-order on Amazon Australia. It was taken by, the Legacy Officer. Got it. Okay. It was taken down before the day was over. Over the weekend at Fan Expo Canada, Hasbro showed slides of Strong Guy in his X Factor outfit, all updated with extra hands and head and a massive barbell that may be composed of bendy wire. All right, I saw the pics, but that's kind of cool. If you have the original Strong Guy Build-A-Figure, that figure had a smiling head. The new one has a stoic and screaming head. See if you can just buy the smiling head off the Bay of E, or try to go express with AliExpress. Haha, well played. I totally lost what I was doing there. The reading comprehension, it failed me. Strong Guy goes up for pre-order. Let's see, tomorrow, August 26, 2025. Did I just say 2000? 2025 on Pulse, Amazon, and fan channels at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. $40 or $50. The 90s Spider-Man animated series Mysterio will come with its usual smoke effects, removable helmet showing his true face underneath. He'll also have an alternate head, a translucent red skull with a snake slithering through the eye socket. It would make for a nice comparison piece or companion piece. Sorry, guys. For Crystal Ball, they also showed off a couple figures for Star Wars Black Series. One was Anakin. The other one, I honestly can't remember. It seems Maximum Deadpool may be a maximum dud for Hasbro. Not a lot of excitement. Spider-Man got the most excitement. The Hulk was moderate. Deadpool has been less so, with people really wondering what will Maximum Thor look like. The made-to-order Mephisto ends tomorrow. Also, I say to heck with him. I only wanted the throne. I'd rather have his son Blackheart. The first episode of Peacemaker Season 2 aired last Thursday, with 7 more each Thursday. This was a little ho-hum with a particular scene that is not for kids, but great if you're into group events. I don't want to read more. But it does fall in line with his dad's rant about him in their final confrontation from season 1. How to be a toy snob? Just say, I only buy foreign toys. Toys from Sideshow and Hot Toys, or toys that can be professionally graded. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must put a generous portion of gray poupon. Very nice. Pardon me. on my friend bologna or on my fried bologna and cheese sandwich. Wow. You know what, sci-fi? Those jokes would land way better if I actually read them correctly. So very nice. I gotta love the callback to Grey Poupon. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Last of the Time Lords is here. You are indeed, Anton. Thanks for stopping in this fine evening. I guess Sci-Fi George has been very, 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 very busy. He has indeed, but he's keeping us all up to date. I checked on, let's see, checked on your check before you made them while I was in the TARDIS, and I looked to make sure that all of them were correct. Very nice. That's the bi-weekly rundown. Now back to you, Dave, with one mighty word, Shazam. Wow. Okay, I'm now reading letters that aren't there. With one mighty word, Shazam! You are now the world's mightiest mortals, the esteemed chat. Thanks as always, Sci-Fi. Always appreciated when you're in there giving us the rundown. And from Sci-Fi to Anton, a Time Lord never guesses. They lie and redirect things. I likes it. Hola, Mr. Spencer. What is going on this fine evening, sir? Thanks for stopping by. Star, it's been a bit, man. Good to see you tonight. You got me nailed. Oh, dear. What's up, Pixelated? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. Spaded, I'm here. We can start. Dang. We're going to just hold off a little while longer because I can now. I kid. Let's keep it going. Pixelated. Can a real toy snob be considered a snob if they call them toys? Oh, no. They must be action figure collectibles or action figures or simply a petroleum plastic collectible. No, hold on. Petro collectibles. There we go. We are toy snobs because we order Petro collectibles. I got nothing. That was weak. Tragic. What is up, David? Chad, I just have to say, let's see. I had a blast going to the Renaissance Fair with the missus. Tragic, that's awesome, man. Congratulations on the Renaissance Fair time. My nephew and his wife are into that. And I don't know, they were asking me about going, and they're in Illinois. So I wonder if they maybe thought about going to that one, or if maybe you want to buy them. I don't even know. Anyone know of any updates on Jada Fig release schedules? I need Edge Runners Maine and Rebecca, and my buddies are still waiting on Scooby. No idea where to go for news. I think that's because Jada keeps it pretty tight-lipped. I think Jada is kind of like Mattel. We're not going to hear much from them except for like Comic-Cons and toy shows and stuff like that. I don't think June is all that crazy on social media. But maybe he'll do a few more interviews. I know a while back he seemed to be doing interviews for some sites, so we'll see. Anton, I have a friend who bought Dangerous Toys, all the Star Wars. Can I get a giant display? They were very nice, but he only buys a really expensive action figure. I bought him a 86 Batman for his birthday. Not bad. Drop the cash down today for my Doc Knock of my very own. Stoked. Nice, baited one. Congrats, sir. Anton, I only buy action figures I really want, and I'm still looking for the ROM when I go to the Comic-Con this year in New York. I will look for him and Doctor Who action figures. They're very hard to find. It seems like it. I'm wondering if somebody's going to pick up that figure license. I know the show recently hasn't done as well as people would like, so I'm just wondering if they're going to even try something with new toys. Tragic, I could have figured you for the real Middle Ages, but I would have been too dangerous. But it would have been too dangerous. Wow. Okay, guys, words have died a little. John, spaded one, you won't be disappointed. Doc Knock is a straight fight with Mezco Snake Eyes for my top spot this year. Or is in a straight fight. Wow. Okay, guys, I will work on that whole reading comprehension thing. All right, rad. That's going to be good. That's going to be cool. I can't wait to see all the shots that you fire out there, spaded one. Everybody else just takes crazy shots of that Doc Knock. What you got, Star? Yellow Park AMK Pro Transformers are kicking my butt. 3-0 who? Hey, now, I like those designs on the 3 zeros. I never was a big fan of just like the straight animation look, but when I look kind of at my Studio Series stuff, it's tries to be pretty close to the straight animation look, so I can't judge it too harshly. All right, you guys know that I got to do this. This month's Patreon photo contest theme is teams. So what you do is you go to this post on the Patreon, you find the rules, you find the guidelines. If you're a member of the Grande tier or higher, you take a picture, you send it to me, I put it up there, and we vote on which one's gonna be the winner. And the winner will receive 2 G.I. Joe Classified Retro Vipers. So yeah, there's the shameless plug for the Patreon, but whoever wins this, hey, that's kind of a cool prize, I think. I still don't have a Viper of my own, so there you go. Let me actually read this post here. August Patreon photo contest. Oh, okay, I can show more. August Patreon photo contest is up and ready to go. The theme teams. As in all these photo contests, you get 1 entry. Submit that entry to toypixx@gmail.com. Contest ends on August 31st, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The contest is open to everyone in the Grande tier and higher, and the winner, let's see, I missed a T. And the winner of this month's contest will receive 2 Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Retro Cobra Vipers. And my favorite part is that you all vote for the winner. No spinning wheel here. The rules are as follows. No nudity. Feel free to use any editing tools you'd like, but it must be your work, and you need to be 18 or older. So come one, come all, and hey, bring a friend for all the photogenic fun. And with that, have fun and happy snapping. So yeah, there you go, ladies and gents. That is this month's Patreon photo contest. Let's make this bigger again and see what we've got going with the people. John, had a great time last Wednesday seeing Turtles in the theater. Not a huge fan of Secret of the Ooze, but we're making plans for that one when it drops next year. Yeah, I bet that was pretty cool. Being where I'm at, you never get stuff like that. Like, there's never, people will be like, hey guys, we're going to show a Star Wars movie this day only or whatever, and it's never anywhere near me. I probably have to drive 40-45 minutes to have a shot at finding that kind of stuff. So that's rad that you're close enough to something where you can find all that. Unless that was just something they do every weekend. Like, our movie theater has classic movies that they play every weekend, but nothing like Turtles. Skew, yes, be a snob. Steamer chat members. Hey, all sup. The Cobra Commander. Well played. Thank you, Skew. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Wow. What are your favorite Transformers, Dave? Mine are Starscream, Soundwave, and of course, Optimus Prime. Anton, you gotta go Prime. I'm a big fan of Megatron. Who doesn't love Soundwave? Those might be the top 3, but I like a lot of Autobots too for various reasons, like Cliffjumper and Gears. I know, seems odd, but those were my first ever Transformers. And then Trailbreaker, again, he never got any real characterization, but I love Trailbreaker. So, they're kind of all over the place. And then as time went on with a lot of others, I think Transformers has been largely hit rather than miss as it's gone on in its time. Recently, I'm not so sure about some things. I tried watching Cyberworld and I'm like, wait, this show was made for the same age kids that G1 was made for when I was that age. Why does one take itself really seriously and the other's kind of silly? And when I say really seriously, it wasn't like it was way serious, but it dealt with more serious themes. And Cyberworld, I've tried watching. Seems silly. But overall, I love the designs of the Transformers in Prime. Armada had a great story. Cybertron still has some of my favorite Transformers designs of all time. So I'm kind of all over the place, Anton, but nice call. Starscream, Soundwave, and of course Prime. Yeah, I think we're pretty close. I think I'd take Megatron over Starscream, but aside from that, I like your list. What's up, Nolan? Good to see you tonight, man. Thanks for stopping in. Clank, what's going on, sir? John, Turtles was a big event. Most major theaters should have it. See, that's the rub, John. Ours is still an old school theater. Like, I don't think there's nothing in there. You still just can order popcorn. It's still got the seating. It's not like theater seating, like where it's really high stacked up. It's kind of flat, like a real minimal slope. Yeah, it's not. And there's 10 theaters and or 10 screens. Yeah, it's not much. It's not much. Ooh, wait, I missed one. And you were on the nose. Nice. Ghost Ab, my first Transformers with Jazz, so I always get him as a figure. Soundwave sounds the coolest out of the Decepticons. Nice call, Ghost Ab. Nice call. I like Jazz quite a bit too. The Insecticons are the ones who first pulled me in. Still so cool. Fact, Star. The Insecticons are sweet. They're supposed to be coming out with a new 3-pack. I think it's a Target exclusive next year. And I will be all over that. I need Insecticons to finish my G1 Season 1. Well, not finish it, but add to it. All right, Harry. Well, I picked up some blockies. The price is great, but anyone that missed Gundam figure kits knows what they're getting, or that messed with Gundam figure kits. Okay, there we go. I have not yet messed with those. Is Transformers Cybertron the one after Transformers with Kicker? I watched the Japanese version called Super Link. Plus, it's been a while. Cybertron was, yes. So in the US, the one with Kicker was Energon. And then it didn't have Kicker for Cybertron, which, yes, that was the follow-up to Super Link. I don't remember, what was it called? What was Cybertron called in Japan, guys? Like, I know Prime, obviously, was Galaxy Convoy. I don't remember. Armada. Okay, Armada. It was Armada, then Energon, then Cybertron. Anton, I feel sorry for some of your choices because I think those guys were killed off screen in Transformers the movie. There's a scene where they come off a car carrier and are all killed in an ambush. Yep, I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, man. It's rough. The Decepticons in general are always so much cooler. Right now, I'm after the Junior Headmasters, Squeeze Play, Horrible, and Fangry. Nice. Unfortunately, you need to buy 3 separate 4. Isn't that crap, Clank? I mean, I'm lucky that I'm not necessarily after those, but when I saw that, I was just like, oh, that's horrible. Star, what? Megatron over Starscream? I beg your pardon. That usurper Megatron, he's old, he's finished, he's yesterday's news. I mean, that's fair, but then Galvatron showed up, and bad things happened to Starscream at that point, Star. I mean, I get it. I do like Starscream. I'm just, if I were to throw out my favorites, he's probably the next tier down, if that helps at all. Anton, TMNT, the movie was a pitch battle to make the studio, want it to be a goofy cartoon. The director fought for the grittier edge. That's why we love it and remember it to these days. It came out on my birthday. Nice, Anton. When I went to see it, I bought the last ticket and everyone behind me said, oh no. It was probably Cybertron too. It was Armada, Super Link, then Cybertron. Okay. Thanks, Ghost Av. It has a Robin Williams connection to the same girl who played April, was in Cadillac Man, and he shared his competition with her and said, this is who April O'Neil is. Okay. I did not know that. It's been a while since I've seen Cadillac Man, though. Cybertron. There it is. Thank you, Ghost Av. I appreciate it. Why could I not remember that? Ever notice how they're Star? Star, I think you had a thought to finish there. Tragic. I love my wall of GI Joes. That is my only flex on being a snob. Once we move, I will have my vehicles displayed with my Dios displayed. Tragic. I'm gonna need pictures, man. That's gonna be awesome. The Insecticons are in our way. No, they're our way in. Yeah, Cup fired off that first part. Roddy fired off the second part before he became a tool and killed Optimus Prime. Let's see here. I know, isn't it funny how I just say little digs like that from time to time? All right. So why don't we shut down the old Patreon? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you kind of know my figure snobbishness. So you know that I'm not getting something with a waist cut, and I'm not going to get something that doesn't have alternate hands at least, right? But that, when I first came up with those guidelines, that was something that was pretty common. Like a lot of companies were still doing waist cuts, a lot of companies didn't have extra hands and all that. It was before the indie scene really started taking off. And now, honestly, the only 112 scale line that still has waist cuts is Marvel Legends. Like every other 112 scale line out there feels like Game On. Now, Black Series doesn't have extra hands and it has fairly weak articulation. So I can mostly eliminate Marvel Legends until they start using ball peg waists more regularly. And I can completely eliminate Black Series just because of my own personal preferences here. This is not a dog on anybody that likes Marvel Legends or that likes Black Series. I'm just saying for the photography aspect of the figures, those two lines don't interest me. Now, when it comes to everything else, I have tried and tried and tried to make it so nostalgia has no bearing whatsoever on what I'm into. I cannot do it. Like, if I didn't get things based on nostalgia, I probably wouldn't get G.I. Joe. Now, that's not a dig. I love a lot of what Lenny and the Classified team do, but they don't come with extra hands for the most part. Whereas Action Force and Monster Force and Mythic Legions and all these other things do have those extra hands. Hang on, let me look here. Mezco, obviously. Yeah, I'm just looking around. Like my GI Joe collection isn't very big because I just get ones with extra hands. So I'm trying to eliminate nostalgia, but at the same time, Mafex figures are so good. Jada, believe it or not, I don't collect based on nostalgia because I really don't care about any of the brands they're making so far. They just make really good figures. So I guess what I'm saying is I want to find ways to eliminate picking some figures up. And so the easy ones are good, the no waist cut, and if they don't come with extra hands, okay, game on. But man, after that, it is tough to try and figure it out. Again, if I didn't collect based on nostalgia, I would probably just get Jada, I would get some Mezco, Action Force, and Monster Force, and be perfectly happy. But let's see what everybody else is saying about this. John, let's see. I knew it. I knew it. Star, ever notice how there's no Decepticon sharpshooters? They must train side by side with Imperial stormtroopers. Maybe that's kind of a thing. Or you know what really happens? The stormtroopers and the Decepticon sharpshooters really start shooting at each other, so they have a really low mortality rate. They just practice against each other because they hate each other, but nobody ever dies. That's why you never see any of the Decepticon ones on the screen, is because they're just practicing with stormtroopers. And let's be honest, there are way more stormtroopers than Decepticon sharpshooters. So we see a lot of them in the movies, but it's the ones that we don't see in the movies and in the shows that are constantly battling the Decepticons. It's supposed to be practice, but none of them can take the other out, even if they try. Clank, fun fact about the Insecticons, Barage's only appearance in animation was in the background of a Family Guy cutaway gag. I had no idea, Clank. That's awesome. And now I have to find that. Paul, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in tonight. Anton, the reason why I like Starscream is because of Chris Latta's voice. He was just so perfect. And there are moments where Starscream finally gets his due. I can't. I mean, if you had asked me my favorite G.I. Joe characters instead of Transformers, I would say, and I know it wasn't you, I know it was Star that asked, but I would have picked Cobra Commander probably a lot for Chris Latta's voice, honestly. And Starscream is awesome. Cobra Commander was just next level ridiculousness. But Starscream actually had a more, almost a tragic kind of thing going on. So he should be a character I really dig. It's just, I think part of it was, and you guys have probably heard me tell this story before, on the same day, my sister broke Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Soundwave. And so I always need those figures. In fact, I've got Megatron and Prime here. And I think they're supposed to release a new Studio Series Soundwave either next year or the following. And then I will be happy and never have to collect another Transformer. That's not true. Thank you, Nolan, for keeping the people involved. And I think there was one called Victory and Space Bridge. Space Bridge. I know there was a Transformers Victory, but I don't know the Space Bridge one. I would have waited an eternity for this. It's over, Prime. I can't do a Frank Welker voice. I try. Would Mythic Legions make your list? Pixelated, I think Mythic Legions today has a really good shot of making my list because they're doing a lot more with articulation. They come with tons of accessories. The real trick here is, okay, I love the look of everything they're doing right now, but how do I whittle it down? Do I just get Skull Guys and Knights? I mean, I've got a dragon coming in. So I feel like I need to build up on my Mythic Legions, but do I need some other stuff, other kinds of characters? Do I just look at them based on color? How do I figure out with a line like Mythic Legions what I don't need versus what I do need? Because it all looks so good. That's the problem. That's me sitting here going, man. And eventually you figure it out, but I'd like there to be some decent guidelines so I can say, okay, if a figure comes with this, I'm out. Or doesn't come with this, I'm out. Or if it has these colors on it, I'm out. Whatever the case may be, that's where I myself need to become more of a figure snob. Yeah. Tragic. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Woo, Paul, I appreciate that so much, man. Guys, it's awesome to come on this chat and see that everybody's talking to each other, hanging out. Very rad. Anton Crisolata was a giant. Love that guy. I once watched him switch to his crazy guy voice, Starscream, during one of his stand-up comedy shows. Really? I remembered that he was a comedian, but so Starscream was the crazy guy voice, huh? That's awesome. I'm going to have to see if I can find some of that stuff. With extra hands, accessories, and all are important to me. They're not the most important part. I just want that character / figure that looks cool. All right, see, now I'm good with that too. So how do you determine, because there's just so many characters and figures that look cool now, how do we knock it down so we can say, okay, I know you're all very rad, but like if I look at a line like Action Force, for some reason it's fairly easy. I like the Crimson Shadows characters. I like the Praetorian. I think I need to get a Colonel Siege. But overall, it's more, Action Force for me is more about the army building aspect. Now, Bobby's shown off some other stuff that looks very cool, so maybe not. Maybe in the future I'll be like, oh no, I need more. Monster Force, I think everything is awesome. But man, if I did it right, I would load up on the individual characters and then army build all the army builders. And after a while, at $40 a pop, that's going to get a little crazy. So that's where I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I determine what makes the collection and what doesn't? Add in the tick or ransom goodies here and there. AWOC, Brutal Realm, let's see, Fresh Monkey Fiction, etc. Yeah, I mean, Fresh Monkey Fiction is the tick, so I'm definitely in on that. And honestly, I'm wondering, with a design like the tick, if he wasn't nostalgic, I might still go in on him. Like, just because he looks goofy. And that stuff always appeals to me. Though, as I get more figures, I'm a bit more picky with some. Some figures I really just want to get that one perfect or close enough figure. Yeah, I totally get that. That's how I am with the Mafex right now. Because it really feels like when I get a Mafex figure, it's definitive. I don't need any more, and I'm good. Like, I don't think the only way I would ever get another brown suit Wolverine is if Mafex made it with maybe more heads and more hands. But I don't ever need another brown suit Wolverine. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You guys are awesome. With a class of G.I. Joe figures, I found a whole bunch of them in the flea market ones, including extra Vipers and Bats. Extra Vipers and Bats is a crazy find, Anton. Nicely done. That was the biggest disappointment I had when I first saw the 2007 Transformers film. I so wanted to hear Chris Latta do it. Yeah, Starscream in live action. I didn't know he had passed away already. Oh, Star, that's got to be a gut punch, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I think if we're talking about the Bayverse, I think Transformers was his best film. I still don't think it was that great, but that one I can watch a few times and be okay. Chris Latta, oh man, such a sad story too, and a very nice man, but had a terrible, terrible wife at the end. Terrible, terrible wife or life, Anton? You got the touch. You got the power. You do, and uncarded. Well played, sir. I should sing more. No, I shouldn't. Let's see here. What do we have? Let's see. Articulation for Legion so far. And then Coolness Dragon, Jersey Devil, etc. Dave. Yeah, I saw the Jersey Devil. I didn't know it was coming out. And then Dorklair happened across the screen. And so I clicked where I'm like, what? The Jersey Devil? It looks like a sweet figure. If you guys aren't following Dorklair and you're into Mythic Legions, you gotta be following that dude. He's got some great stuff. And he shows a whole lot of the swaps and all that stuff. Things I wouldn't even think to do because I just don't have that much with Mythic Legions yet. Star Chris Latta was in an episode of Seinfeld. He was the guy on the train chasing Kramer when he won at the track. I have to find that now. I don't even remember that. And I love Seinfeld. Sup, KJ? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Whew. Good night. How do I choose? I go in groups. Just completed the Dreadnoughts recently. Otherwise, I pick up the new releases I want. Plus an occasional foray into another company to see how good they are. Okay, John. Okay, that's helpful. That's helpful. Because I'm trying. See, my concern with that approach, just for me, is if I try, if you test drive something, suddenly you're like, oh, these are really good. Like Tragic sent that Death Adder figure. Like, oh, that Mezco was really good. To a point where I was looking at the Mob guy that came out, thinking, maybe I should get that Mob guy. And I know Mezco is going to be just very bad for me. So I have to be very judicious with that one. Let's see, with G.I. Joe, my favorites are, of course, Cobra Commander, Snake Eyes, Lowlight, Airtight, and Bazooka. Oh, let's see, Lowlight doesn't get as much love as he probably should. Lowlight's rad. Now, you know that Flint is going to be on the top for me, but we got Cobra Commander was awesome as well. Snake Eyes, because I didn't get into the Marvel comics when I was younger. I didn't read those till later. I never was the guy that thought Snake Eyes was super cool. So maybe that led into me not wanting so many ninjas in my G.I. Joe. I don't know. But for whatever reason, watching the cartoon, Snake Eyes just didn't kind of get it done. A lot of figures from 85 did, or a lot of characters from 85 did. I love Bazooka and Alpine. I thought they were hilarious. But Snake Eyes, for whatever reason, didn't do it. Now, he has a very rad figure that I have. It's a good figure. What can I say? It's like, you know what? I won't make that comparison. I'm going to be kind tonight. But yeah, Snake Eyes to me wasn't that compelling of a character in the show. But the figure's awesome. And in the Marvel comic, he's a much more compelling character, which was cool. Uncarded, collecting pre-owned figures for fodder is always an option for army building. Also, catching a bunch of figures on clearance. That is key, Uncarded. That's key. But I haven't seen a lot of, I've gone to the Wounded section of Valaverse to get, let's see, what was it? Just one Crimson Infantry guy so far. And I haven't seen Monster Force go on sale at all. And those are kind of the army builder stuff that I'm looking at. The Mafek Stormtrooper, if I'm lucky, when I'm ready to buy that, he'll still be available for something less than $200. So yeah, I mean, what I'm interested in, it's tough to find. However, I might be picking up some Vipers, and they're not too crazy. So maybe in the future, those will be on clearance. Anton, call the commander. Once you said I have, let's see, I never bluff Flint. Ah, yes. I never bluff, Flint. Ooh, I don't do a very good Chris Latta either. Four Horsemen released their new figure obscura over the weekend. The New Jersey Devil, Target's GeekCon, will have new offerings each Friday from 8/29 to 10/3. Oh, man, that's going to be very good stuff. Yeah, that Jersey Devil looks amazing. Yo, LBZ, what's up, man? Good to see you. I know I've said this before, but that Cobra Commander miniseries is definitely something should be on your list when you go to a convention to pick up. Oh, guys, check this out. So there's a toy convention that happens in Jackson, I think twice a year, Jackson, Michigan. And one of them is happening November 1st. There might still be tables available. So here's the plan. Toypixx has to be a little bit of a grassroots campaign. So I emailed the people to find out if there's still tables available. I just did that today and I haven't heard back yet. But if there are, I'm going to actually go to a toy show. I'm going to set up some stuff to help people as they walk by with their figures to help show them how to take pictures of their figures with their own smartphones. And I'm not going to charge. It's just going to be like a donation. But then everything that's set up there will be to help grow the Toypixx audience. So like QR codes to YouTube, QR codes to the Discord, whatever, all that stuff. So I'm pretty excited. I think if they get back to me and say, yeah, we still got tables, I'm going to have a good time. And I've got enough people already that would be like, dude, I would totally help out with that. So it could be fun. I would even just get them Toypixx shirts and have them just walk around the toy show, just so people started connecting those shirts with my booth, because that's the kind of guy I am. So hopefully that pans out. I will be sure to keep you guys updated. But yeah, I know, Anton. I know I need to read a lot of stuff, but hopefully. So what I've been doing at night is over on September 29th. So after that, I should be able to free up some time to maybe do more of that. Probably work more on Toypixx, but maybe also get to breed some. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully at that point, I can read some comics. Whoo! All right, you may need different rules based on the intended purpose. At that point, you can then decide the degree to which you need it to be fit for function. Display on shelf is different than use in photos. And that's the thing, Pixelated. If I were just displaying stuff, I would totally just go all nostalgia, stand them up, and I would take pictures of figures standing on a shelf from time to time. But so many now qualify as photogenic figures. That makes it really tough. But you're right. I gotta figure this out. But man, it is tough. It is tough for me. But that's why I'm asking all of you, because maybe I'll be able to get some ideas. John, they've released most of the Joes I love. Only ones I'm waiting on are Flash and Fast Draw. Oh, you know Lenny's gonna kill it on Fast Draw. Flash will probably be pretty cool too, but Fast Draw is gonna be sweet. Anton, I found out it the same way, Star. That was really sad. I thought that he was still alive. Ugh. Yeah, Sumbo, let's see. Weeked out on Snake Eyes. Must read the comics too. Yep, that's true. That's true. He never seemed all that cool. Like Shipwreck was cooler than Snake Eyes. Life. Wait a second. See that he was still alive. Okay, all right. Hopefully, Anton, I got that close. Same for Snake Eyes. There's a hardbound anniversary of the silent issue that is super awesome. And that's from back when Snake Eyes was more of a commando. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I don't mind, to be fair, or to be clear, I suppose, I don't mind Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow being ninjas. It's just that towards the end of the run, everybody was a ninja. And at that point, I'm like, okay, hold on. No good. No dice. However, there will be a dice because I did order the Slice and Dice 2-pack. Because those look really good. Yes, you would barely recognize him because he was such a big guy. I'm assuming you mean the Seinfeld episode, Anton? Ghost Tab just pre-ordered the Hot Toys Robo Cane. I just got an email. Tariffs are going up end of August, so I noticed it's selling elsewhere this week. Yeah, I got one from HLJ. I saw Preternia posted about one. It might have been HLJ for that too. A lot of it, like the one that I read, they don't know how much tariffs are going to affect shipping. So that's the big concern right now. And I did hear from somebody that Ami Ami has removed the DHL option, which means, you know, how I would order something from Ami Ami and it would be from Japan to Michigan in 2 to 3 days. I'm not sure that's going to be possible anymore. So I might be a little later with some reviews than other stuff, but that's okay. Selling out. Oh, okay. Got it. So they're selling out elsewhere. Got it, Ghost Av. Yeah, makes sense. What's up, Ironic? Good to see you tonight, man. Thanks for stopping in. It's a good crowd. We're having a good time. The song about Snake Eye, let's see, it goes through his entire life from a rapper called Word Burglar. He had a hard time. That would be, I don't now I feel like I need to find that. How could any kid not find Snake Eyes cool? He checked every box. A ninja wearing all black, carrying an Uzi, while also hanging out with a pet wolf. See, he didn't carry an Uzi in the cartoon, though. And the cartoons where I got most of my stuff, I actually didn't have the version 2 Snake Eyes as a kid. But had I really cared, I would have picked him up and thought he was super cool. I mean, I got him when I was older. He's a sweet figure. My favorite Marvel comic characters is Spider-Man. He's always been my favorite. He will always be my favorite. The Incredible Hulk, tragic story, and I feel his pain. Firestar and The Thing, and I'll probably add in Man-Thing too. You got some interesting choices. Like, I mean, and that's not a shot, Anton. I don't mean that. I don't hear too many people say that Firestar is on the top of their list. That's very cool. And Man-Thing as well. Alchemist, what is up, man? It's been a bit, you know, since I was on the Discord and saw your name and saw you posting and other stuff, man. Thank you for stopping by tonight. I appreciate that. Okay, speaking of, now that Alchemist is here, I thought while we're discussing, you know, what you guys do to be kind of toy snobs so that you can help me be a bit more of a toy snob, let's go. I want to show off a little bit about what's been going on in the Discord because people be crazy. I started this Discord because Tragic kept saying start the Discord. I didn't know what I was getting into. This is your figure photo gallery, the figure photo gallery on Discord. And look at what's already happened. And when did I start this, guys? Was it like last Thursday or something? But you guys have already gone just absolutely insane with the photos in here. This one's from Spaded One. And in fact, how about this? In case you guys aren't on the Discord, let me drop a link here so you can check it out. All right, there you go. There's the Discord link so you can hang out on the Discord. We've got figure photos. We've got LBZ in there with a lot of the figure news. We've got recent pickups. I mean, people are just having a blast in the Discord, and I need to get in there more, but it's tough, man, because holy crap, time. LBZ fired off this M. Bison. What else? I always love, and I tell LBZ this all the time, I love the light work that he puts into these things. Like the way that the lights, just all this stuff, I think is very cool. But yeah, it's just been a blast, and I wanted to make sure and highlight what some of the people are doing. This is a photography channel after all. We've got Clank partying. I believe, Clank, you put this in the X as well, didn't you? Like as a response? See, the Rocketeer with Red Sonja. I'm just saying, guys, people are having a good time. Whereas with Twitter, I always put up a theme. Here, I just said, hey, guys, start posting some photos. And people are posting just wicked, fun, awesome photos. And you know my rule for when it comes to It's the Rocket. Well, here's from It's the Rocketeer. But my rule when it comes to photos is if you have fun shooting it, game on. That's what makes a good photo. Whoo. Yeah, people just do incredible work. I love seeing it. That's wicked. Lots of wicked googly. But I thought I'd fire off the Discord, show everybody what everybody's up to over there. Put that link in there. You can just share your pics. Here we got one from Tragic. Here we got a few from Tragic. Oh, Tragic. You know what, guys? I have not been on Discord as much as I should have. I really like the way that the yellow sky here hits. Like, it just looks like the right sky for Conan. Ooh. Oh, that's rad. Oh, boy. It's coming together. La Muerta. It's just fun, guys. People have been having a blast. And look, if you can see over here on the right-hand side, you can see that this thing is maybe a quarter of the way down, and we just started this Discord. Here's one from Alchemist. So people are just on here having a great time. So I invite anybody, come on in, join the Discord, have some fun, take some photos, stay on top of everything. It's a great, great time. People are just absolutely killing it. Love these shots, Clank. Ooh. Ooh, I like how warm that is. That's very cool. Like, I love how colorful this shot is, man. All right, let's keep going. Talk to the people. Holy yeah. Yeah, man. And people do good work. What can I say? I'm so impressed when I see what people are doing. I love when the two brothers finally put their differences aside when he found out it was Zartan that killed Storm Shadow's master. Yeah, yeah. It was good stuff, man. But yeah, so this is the Discord. I wanted to make sure and show some of that. So we'll get out of there now. Actually, here, let me boom shakalaka. And then you guys have heard me talk about the prompt picks when it comes to X. X is like Facebook has them as well, and Threads has them, but it has not gained the life that it has on X. So this past Friday, I put up this image of Fei Long kicking these guys, and the prompt was your action figure crossovers. So anybody could comment with pictures of their action figures crossing over with other lines. So here you can see you've got Jada's Street Fighter crossing over with Action Force. And then look at all the responses here. People are just, I mean, it's so cool to see how much fun people are having with photos right now. And I'm flabbergasted at just how much fun and how cool these things are. Everybody comes in and just has a great time, kills it. Here we go. There's Megatron and Starscream. Oh, Megs is totally going to get this victory. But yeah, that's if you follow Toypixx on X, you can check out the prompt picks and all that stuff. But the reason I'm highlighting this stuff right now is because Toypixx is about toy photography and people are very responsive to it. And it's just so cool to see. Like, I can't wait. Like, tonight's is your action figures driving, and I've got Chuckles on a motorcycle. So we'll see what we get there. But yeah, people are so cool, guys. Like, this is what it's all about when it comes to figure photography for me. It's just seeing what other people are putting out there. It's pretty incredible. Alrighty, hang on. How did I blow that? One day I will learn how to do this stuff. Hang on, now I'm scrolling down because I noticed you didn't see. So here was the picture. This was Fei Long crossing over with Action Force. That was the prompt pick, and I always put the prompt. So like here, you can see on the right, your action figure crossovers, a photo thread. So everybody knows to just start going nuts with action figure crossover picks. Oops. And then I just kept going down. I also on X post the Patreon freebies. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody saw how good this stuff was. People just having a blast, people sharing their photos. So, like Monday through Friday, you have a themed photo that you put up on X. And when it comes to the Discord, you just put up whatever you've shot recently. And it's just awesome. I love that people are putting up so many photos and having such a great time with it. Let's see here. Soups, I don't know, guys. Superman versus the Hulk. Who's going to win that? Sorry, I can just, I can literally just sit here and look at everybody. I thought this was pretty funny. Not bad. But I could sit here and just look at these things all night, and it would be insane if I were able to do such things. Can you imagine you're trapped in this terrible body and you can't talk, and all you can do is react, at least with his friend Swamp Thing, which is a very similar character. Great character from DC. Yeah, that's true. I could not. Yeah, that's also fair. I need to get some space to take more interesting photos or make some time to get outside and take some pics. Man, whatever works, John. But yeah, I mean, every time you guys post this stuff, I'm just so stoked about it. Anton, what is everyone's obscure cartoon that they love so much? I'll go first. Besides Thundar the Barbarian, I would say probably Danger Mouse and the Raccoons, if anybody's heard of them. I've heard of Danger Mouse, not the Raccoons so much. Space is definitely a problem. That's partly why I prefer to go outside. More space, more light, different environments. That and see Clank, that's awesome. And it's something that I just, for whatever reason, I just don't want sun hitting my figures. I am kind of a figure snob apparently, but it's one of the nice parts about having a studio here where I can take those photos and not have to worry about that so much. Is I have some space to set things up. Anton, love all those. Mine is the Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers. See, I don't know that I'm blanking on obscure. Like the Orbots is probably the most obscure I can even think of. Skew Banner will will rig Gamma Kryptonite. Oh, see, and then Banner would have the win. That's fair. You'd be really jealous. One Comic Con, I met one of the animators for the Galaxy Rangers, and he gave me a free drawing of one of the girls. That's awesome, Anton. See, Johnny Quest, the uncensored OG, is the best. I've heard of Johnny Quest, but I don't know about the uncensored OG. See, the Raccoons was a Canadian cartoon, if I remember correctly. Got it. Yes, the Raccoons. I had a big crush on Lisa. I don't remember. I don't. Oh, whoa. Yeah, Mighty Orbots. That's the one. That's the craziness that I remember there. Whoo! I keep hearing some kind of beeping. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure that out. I'm still trying to get used to using a PC. I'm not just a snob in this arena. I'm also a snob when it comes to computers, apparently. Whoo! But yeah, just tons of red figures, tons of things I thought I should show off just because so many people do such great work. This one has me jealous because I miss this Dawson. Alrighty, I will get out of El Twitter. And with that, let's just go back. We have LBZ. Jada Toys needs to do the Hanna-Barbera Wacky Racers. They need to get into Hanna-Barbera more, but what I really need them to do is Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes are key. They are, in fact, necessary. Because who doesn't want a 1/12 scale Bugs Bunny? Turbo Teen. Oh, pixelated. I do remember Turbo Teen. That's the kid that kind of looked like he just turned into jelly and then a car, right? It ran from the mid 80s to the early 90s, was usually on right before the Wonderful World of Disney. Are you talking about the raccoon still, Nolan? because I don't remember. I mean, I watched The Wonderful World of Disney, but if it was Canadian, maybe it just didn't air here. All the shows y'all also remember and more. The esteemed chat is no joke. You don't mess with this chat. There's a reason I call these guys the best chatters on the internet, Skew, you included. This is where the people come to learn things. Star, I need Jada, Akira, Space Ghost. Heck, y'all know the list. You know, I think the fact that they haven't done Space Ghost yet, at least, just totally throws me off. They've got to do Space Ghost. They know there's the demand. They'll get there eventually. Next song, Chuckles used to rocket launch. Yeah, Chuckles just throwing. He is a rocket launcher. He just tosses a man time. Yeah, car when hot, human when he got cold. Okay, I didn't remember that part. But yeah, I remember that he looked like he was just turning into gel, and then suddenly there was a car there. Let me get rid of a little more of this. Hang on, I'm just logging out of stuff so I don't, I'm logging out of everything but StreamYard. I'm pretending that I understand how things work right now. Oh, accidentally hit the help center on Discord. I don't know things clearly. Toypixx online. How about I don't know how to log out of Discord? Oh well. I can stay on Discord. It's a good place to hang out. All right, guys. So who else? Who else has ideas? What do you do when it comes to, again, this is trying to curate the collection. How do you decide which figures not to buy? What do you got? What do you got? Because these are the questions that are super important and that we all must know the answers to. Sorry, I was picking up the phone so I could see the time. I don't actually have the time displayed here. Oh, wait, yeah, I do. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this whole PC thing. By the way, have I told you guys the reason that we need AI? Ready? The reason we need AI is because we as a species has somehow decided that Microsoft is the best possible software out there. So clearly we don't know what's good for us, which is why we need AI. That's basically it. Anton, there's a comic with Superman fights the Hulk. It's really cool. I knew about that comic, but I haven't seen it. I've never read it. Star, if Jada did figs from the Little Nightmares video games, I'd be all over them. I don't remember Little Nightmares, Star. Oh no. I think you got to really look at scale as well. You can't get them all. That's fair, John. That's fair. And I do look at scale. The only line that I get that's outside of 1/12, I guess you could argue Mythic Legions is outside of 1/12. But the only one I really get that's outside of that is the Transformers. Because if those were 1/12, they would be really big. And I couldn't fit them in the studio. Chuckles Chunks Rockets, except at Roadblocks. Let's see, Res Rocket Burger. Oh, his aunt and uncle, Red Rocket Burger, right? His aunt and uncle owned, which was kind of funny, really. Remember that episode with Roadblock and Ricondo on leave? I do. I got some 1/10 scale, but only very rarely, or get some. Yeah, John, that's where I'm at. I'm like, where do I fudge Mythic Legions in? It doesn't feel like they're quite 1/10, but they're also not quite 1/12. Like they're almost. Let's see here. What do we have? Let's grab Gideon. Let's see here. La 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 la. I had one of his wings on his helmet popped off when I went to grab him. We'll grab Gideon and we'll grab the guy on the thumbnail. Let's see how close we are. That's not quite as far off as I thought. They're definitely closer. Probably 1/12 is, or they're probably closer to 1/12 than 1/10, at least based on Sir Gideon here. Hang on, there's the feet pretty level. Right there. So yeah, and if they're on a different world called Mythos, I could probably accept that they might just be slightly bigger people. So yeah, maybe that's the answer. Maybe Mythic is close enough to 1/12 where I can now get them all, which is a problem. Build a collection based on the best version available in that particular costume across all 1/12 scale vendors. I like that. That's a good call, Pixelated. And that's something that I have been keeping that in mind. I've been trying to be very cognizant of that. My problem is going to come when they do Superman for Tomorrow, when Mofex does Superman for Tomorrow, because I've got the Superman Hush. So then what if Superman for Tomorrow has a smiling face? Do I get rid of Hush? Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because they're basically the same costume. Oh boy, it gets tricky. It does get tricky, but I do like where your head's at there. And I think that for the most part, like that brown suit Wolverine's the only one I need. The X-Force Wolverine from Mofex is the only one I need. So maybe I think we're kind of on the same wavelength here, but man, if I saw another that was awesome, maybe I'd pick that up too, which would be the problem. Skew, yeah, I know. And it's so like as an adult, you just laugh when you see some things. LBZ, if it's 1/18 scale or 1/6 scale, when I get my house built, I'll probably do 1/6. Oh no, LBZ. 1/6 is a problem, man. That'll knock us all down. That's the one scale I look at and I go, no, I can't. Like I don't get 1/18 either. I'm pretty much stuck on 1/12, but 1/6, that rabbit hole would destroy me. Today was a Monday of a Monday. Oh, Mr. Manson, you're the second person I've heard say that today. I'm sorry to hear it, but at least you're here now. We're here just chatting toys and having a good time. So hopefully you get a beer or something and you can kick back and unwind. John, I think rules like you have are a good idea, but you have to treat them, Captain Barbosa voice, more like guidelines. See, guidelines are key. And that's why I like to say that rules are for the other people. But guidelines, yeah, guidelines kind of come in and substitute that word a little bit. Facts, best approach. Yep, I like what Pixelated said there. Mondayception. Oh no, Skew, not you too. Nolan, hi Matthew. Sorry to hear you had a bad day. Yeah, not cool, not cool. Gideon is definitely 1/10. See, I don't see 1/10 there. Like the only reason I say that is because a McFarlane figure would be much taller than Gideon, I think. What do I have? I've got a Batman. I don't remember where it's at. Let's see here. Hold on. Now I'm looking really closely here. I should have. I wonder if I've got something I can stand them on to show. I've got those little display cases. I'd have to take down some Chesters and a Mega Man to really do this properly. Or, yeah, I'm not getting 1/10 out of it as I'm looking at them. Let me try a different figure here. Hang on. I know this is when we're starting to get crazy. Let's try this guy. So I'm trying this dude now, a Sleepwalker. And he is close. He might be just a touch shorter than Cobra Commander. Let's try. I know. Everybody says, but Mofex is so small. Mofex might be a little skinny, but their height is usually pretty in line with other 1/12 scale lines. Let's see here. And if they're not, you can make it so by extending their legs a bit. Ah, that's knocked him over. Why won't you stand? I clearly use the Batman figures a lot in my photos. Okay. Yeah, the Mofex Batman is about the same height as Cobra Commander as well. So, yep. And what I was trying to do there was show 1/12 versus 1/10, except I just don't. I mean, Gideon is bigger for sure. but I don't know that I give him 1/10. He might be closer to 1/11th. But so are a lot of Marvel Legends figures too. Anton, the raccoons were, let's see, as a really cool Canadian show, environmental show. It's raining prime time in Canada, and it was about 3 raccoons that run a newspaper against an evil aardvark. See, I would totally watch an evil aardvark. Let's see, Pixelated Marie Kondo's Does It Spark Joy is hard to take seriously, but these are toys, so it has to be something you think is awesome. I do agree with that, Pixelated, and that's where the problem really comes in, is so much of it is awesome. Like, genuinely, I look at all of it. I would load up on all the Monster Force things. I'd load up on all the Jada things, which I'm still working on building that Jada army. And I'd load up on all the Mythic Legions things. Like, the one thing going for me, I think, that maybe some people don't necessarily have, is I really don't ever want the collection to look crowded. So, barring until I get like a huge space, there is a limit to what I want to see on the shelf. So that might save me a little bit. John, the issue is that G.I. Joe is big for 1/12th. See, but Batman's about the same size as Cobra Commander, and that's the Mafex Batman. I love how Cobra Commander will pose battle with anyone. Yup, he'll throw down. See, check out Cybertronic Spree's cover of Run With Us. It's really good. And actually, John, you might be, when you said that, you might be onto something there. Because isn't SHF says they're true 1/12th, or people say they're true 1/12th, but oftentimes they skew a little shorter. But at the same time, they are closer to true 1/12th than pretty much every other line out there. So maybe there is something to that. I just think the McFarlane figures that I've had are much bigger than this Gideon. Is the only reason that I'm even thinking maybe 1/10th isn't quite right. Clank, I have a good number of 1/10th, lots of McFarlane and NECA. I slowed down drastically with both of them, but I still have some NECA horror figures on my shelf. See, NECA horror figures, it's hard for me to turn a lot of those down. Even though I was never a horror guy, characters like Vincent Price or the Christopher Lee Dracula, kind of like, oh, I kind of need those. And I do have a lot of the Mirage Turtle stuff, but that's a little closer. That's not quite 1/10th. Like when you stand the human characters next to the human 1/12 scale figures, they're pretty close to the same size. John, if Classified had been 1/18th when they revealed that Snake Eyes, that had been my scale. You know what? That might be, I might have jumped in on a new 1/18th line if that's true. Like if they had done that same thing. You're right. If I did 1/6, I'd give it a month before I'd start crying for 1/6 vehicles diorama sets. You know, that's something else, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to get time to work on dios for the 1/12 scale stuff. If it was 1/6, you would need time and a lot of space because holy crap, that's going to be a big dio. Skew, I out-retreated Starscream and Cobra Commander from 1/6 to 1/12 and some 1/10th. Out-retreated. Help me out, Skew. Help me out. I clearly blew that reading. 1/6 are cool, but crazy, pricey, and big. That's totally truth. Speaking of scale, I saw somewhere that Hasbro may do some of the Tron Ares toys as 1/18th scale, which is better since we can get a lot more vehicles in the line, but I don't buy that scale at all. That'll be something that you wonder about, like where's the crossover? So right now you've got the vintage collection guys that are really into those figures, but I don't know how big people are into Star Wars in general right now, but I do think the vintage collection collectors are pretty crazy, so they go nuts for those. But is there crossover with Tron? Because really, when you look at it, 1/18th right now is a lot of Joy Toy, and it's the vintage collection, and it's Super 7's reaction figures, which don't tend to be as good as the other 1/18th stuff. So then you start going, where's the crossover? And are they going to start going with more of this? I don't know. The figures that you don't buy are the ones you don't have the money for that makes you sad. I don't see, I'm not necessarily there. it's not necessarily that. It's just, oh man, how do you decide? But for anybody, yeah, if you just don't have the money on you when the thing drops, that's always tough. When there's a surprise drop and you're going, no, I so would have gotten that had I not spent X amount yesterday, you know? Well, after a few moments of handling, the McFarlane fig would be down to 1/12 once its legs break off. That's fair as well. Plus, I would say one of the reasons I won't buy a figure, forget the 1/10 thing, but if I constantly have to modify all the figures to make them work for me, it's not worth it. Like every time I see, and again, this isn't dogging collectors of McFarlane figures, but whenever I see a review of a McFarlane figure, then it's always, yeah, if you just cut the diaper away a little bit, then they'll have a lot more range in the hips. Well, if you're a McFarlane figure, like if you're a McFarlane collector and you're collecting, I don't know, however many they've got by now, I'm sure it's in the hundreds. Are you really going to sit there and cut that diaper for all those figures so that it has a little more range? Shouldn't the company just make the figure with that kind of range? That's one thing that if I see reviews that say, yeah, this thing won't really move well unless you do work to it, I tend to not be all that into the figure. Yep. Bingo with a Bo Jackson run over on pricing. I just saw something about Bo Jackson the other day. It's been a while. Anton, yes, I know that bad. They dress up like the Transformers and they do really awesome version of Run With Us. Choose wisely. Yeah. Yeah, that would be the way to go, really, Skew. Thanos, what's up, man? Good to see you tonight. Pixelated, if it's about space, then what would you give up, if anything, to add this new figure? That's a good call, too. I'm looking around right now. You know what's terrible? And I never thought I'd say this, because NECA isn't progressing with their articulation and because they're kind of reducing the parts count. I'm looking at my NECA turtles. Like I would always keep the Usagi set. I love that. And I'd probably keep the Mirage turtles. But a lot of the other stuff, I don't know that I'd keep it. Only because I want NECA to progress. And I'll be honest, if another company came out today and said, we're doing 112 scale TMNT Mirage line, I would go nuts on that because chances are they would move way better than these. So yeah, that might be that. I don't know. The NECA turtles are kind of that thing that I look at and go, oh, I'm not sure. Just not sure. Let's see. Yep. Hopefully we're all partying, Nolan. Let's see. I'd say Mythics run 112. NECA falls into 110. NECA is for sure with those, like with the Vincent Price and all that. I know they're way tall. Hey, Nolan, doing good over here. Just worked 6 days into a 10-day stretch. Oh, ow. So you got 4 days to go. All right, you're over halfway there, Thanos. Keep going, man. Yeah, NECA and McFarlane are 1/10. Mythic and Classified are 1/12. That's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I can see the argument for Mythic being taller, though. Anton, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Madison. That's terrible. Monday is terrible. Yeah. Mr. Matson, sorry. Ouch, that's tough, man. Yep. 6 out of 10, but over halfway there. We gotta try for the bright side. Let's see, Metacom has a great 1/18th line. Really? Tell me, Tommy, what does Metacom have that's 1/18th? Because I had no idea. Like anything I've got from them is the Mafex 112 scale figures. Thanos, I'd like cockpits for Black Series. See, Thanos, I don't get them much. I mean, obviously, I just don't buy Black Series so much just because of limited articulation and they don't come with a lot of extras. I would go nuts, and I know they'll never do this. I would totally go nuts for a 112 scale Millennium Falcon. John, Mythic is pretty much 1/10. The best way to tell is a tape measure. I have one behind me, and he's 7 inches. G.I. Joe's and Action Force, heck, most 112. That's a good point too, John. Like I said earlier with the SHF figures, they're supposed to be true 112, but I think they run a little smaller. Like that Cyclops that's coming out runs a little smaller than what he's supposed to be if he were true 112. But I still think SHF is probably the closest to true 112. So you're right. Like these are all a lot bigger than they should be. Let's see. I ran from 1.6, stopped it totally. Nice, Q. Nice. It's a safety issue when it comes to the wallets and 1.6 scale, isn't it? They shouldn't be unless it's a tall guy. Average figure should be 6 inches. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think most the superhero, like what's Batman supposed to be? Is he supposed to be 6'2", 6'3"? I think he's about the Mofex one. I think it's about 6¼ inches, which would be right. But then you're right when it comes to G.I. Joe. They shouldn't be standing the same height as Batman. Most you would think would be right around the average of 5'10". In fact, let's see here. Let me grab one of my favorite figures. Oh, Snake Eyes. Let's see. Yeah, Snake Eyes is shorter than Batman. Maybe he's about that 5'10". Cobra Commander's just tall. But Batman, now that I'm looking at it again, Batman's a little taller than Cobra Commander. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps Mofex is much taller than 112 too. I'm totally thrown off. I wish I could show it better, but it's close enough where even if I tried holding it up, I don't think you guys would get much out of it. My other favorite Transformers definitely would be the Dinobots. Anton, I love the Dinobots. I'm so happy to have a complete set. You have no idea. The Constructicons got me back into Transformers. I still need Mixmaster, but the Dinobots, I knew I had to pick those up. Thank you, Paul. Always appreciated, guys. Clank, very few 112 lines are actually 112. It's just that most of them are close enough. The Mythics I have fit well enough with my other 112 lines. NECA and McFarlane are bigger. Figma is smaller. I forgot about Figma. Yeah, they're quite a bit smaller, aren't they? So Dave knows Run With Us is the theme song from the Raccoons. Okay. Thank you, John. One day I'm going to get all the nerd references. I'm not. It's never going to happen. Yes, a lot sits at the 1/10 scale. Yep. Yeah, I know AWOC is pretty close. I think Savage Crucible is 1/10. Mythics are awfully close, if not perfectly at that 1/10 scale. I know, John, you said you measured it out. 7 inches would be 1/10. So, yeah, there's quite a few. 1/6 seem to need maintenance, just not into that. 112 all the way for price, space, and handleability. 1/6 is too awkward to casually handle. That's true too. I do think that when we're talking photography, I think 112 is just about the perfect size. I think 1/6 is exactly as you're saying, Star. It's just too awkward. I have held the 1/6 figures. I used to get the 1/6 scale G.I. Joes when they came out. What was that? Was that around the early or mid 90s? I used to get those, and those just posing them was weird. I got the Rhino Jeep, which was this huge Jeep. Yeah, it was craziness trying to mess with those. But I wasn't really taking pictures yet. But I can imagine today that would be tough. Skew, the scale is off on DC. Todd Father, often. Tony's Figs, let's see, has to fix them for scale. Did a great job hooking them up. All right. Well, that's good, at least. Somebody's out there taking care of it. I know that I've seen like Batman comparisons with McFarlane stuff, where one Batman is way huge and the next Batman's tiny. Let's see. Oh, it's good. I'm down to get, let's see, Jada Edge Runners and Yellow Park AMK Pro Transformers, and I'm good with that. Still have my SHF Star Wars original trilogy figs, but they don't expand that line very quickly. See, Star, that's perfect, man, because the Jada Edge Runners, if you get those, and then the Yellow Park AMK Pro Transformers, that's not that huge a hit on the wallet because they don't come out very fast. And they're not crazy pricey. So that is perfection, my friend. Well played. That's some real curation and focus. Alchemist, but really love how many various scales there are with Mythic Legions or within Mythic Legions. Yeah, Mythics are crazy. I need to get more, but I'm scared. Batman 6'2", Soup 6'3". Okay. I think this Batman is about 6 1/4, so he's just a touch taller than he should be. Soups, I don't know. I don't know. I need to look at this stuff a little more. Clank, that too. A lot of lines have varying sizes depending on character, and that's cool. That's cool. That's where the scale actually comes in. Like when somebody says 6-inch scale, that always messes with my brain because 6 inches is just a height. It's not a scale, so it always throws me off. 1/12 is a scale. What's up, Kyrus? Good to see you tonight, man. Thanks for stopping in. It's been a good chat. The varying sizes kill me. I'm okay with a little variance, but yeah, that's one thing. Like we talk about how 1/6 would be tough to shoot, like for photos and all that. But imagine you load up on Mythic Legions. I have no idea. So okay, I don't have any of the big trolls or any of that stuff. I have no idea how I am possibly going to shoot Beathir when he gets here. None. I will figure it out, but right now I have zero clue. So yeah, good times, good times. So yeah, when those scales are all over the place, or when the sizing is all over the place within the scale, it's tough. It's tough to shoot. You almost need just a single color background. Like one of the cheats I've been using for Transformers picks, because I don't have a good dial for Transformers, is I have just a black piece of velvet or felt or whatever to go behind them. And then I have a piece of mirrored tint that they stand on. So they have basically a black background and then a reflection of what's in the image below. It's kind of a cheat for sure, but it's the best I can do with what I've got for Transformers currently. And if anybody knows somebody that's making killer Transformers diorama stuff, point me at them. Good to see you saying hi. It's a good night, Kyrus. I think we're all partying tonight. It's fun. Cobra Commander is throwable. Remember, Dave, legends are a smidgen bigger. Mophex, etc. Great size. Mophex, Jada, etc. Yeah, Jada pretty much crushes it. I still have a special place in my heart for the Combaticons. Loved them the moment I first saw them, and I still love them today. Star, I've seen Vortex in the store twice. I still haven't gotten them. I gotta pick up Vortex. If you're unaware, Hasbro is making in their Age of the Primes line, they're making another Bruticus. Now, it's not going to be crazy pricey. Like one of the figures will be around $90, but the others will be probably 25. There'll probably be two that are 25 and two that are 35. So if you want to get another Bruticus, it's happening. What won me over is the crossover with 1/12 and 1/10. Really? Tell me more, Skew. Big Chuck, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Just forfeited my deposit on some Hot Toys, trying to stay in my 1/12 lane. Got excited for them when pre-orders went up, just came to my senses just the other day. No space and just too expensive. Big Chuck, okay, here's my question for you. For me, I just don't go near 1/6 because I'm scared to death of the rabbit hole. Were you a little worried about that as well? I mean, obviously no space and the money is crazy. I totally get that. But would you be concerned that you would have a hard time stopping if you got into that scale? I would never sell any of my action figures. See, I've sold a lot and I'm very happy with what I have now. I finally got kind of the perfect curated collection. But if I had to, Mirage, like my NECA Turtles, are the line that I get that isn't keeping up with today's stuff. So that would probably be the closest. Not that I would, but it would be the closest to getting out of here. Anton, if they could talk, what would they say to you, Dave? You're selling me. What did I do wrong? Fortunately, they can't talk. Otherwise, I'd feel really bad. But I know that if somebody bought them, they would be going to someone who clearly, if I put them up for sale, would appreciate them more than I would. Miss Cogsmith, what's going on? Good, don't, you'll miss them. Now, see, I have not had regret when it came to selling, and I've sold a lot of stuff. The one line, and I will say this because it's my favorite line of all time, and I'll probably go back and try and recollect it one day. The one line that I got rid of, and I had tons of them that I thought was amazing, was the Transformers Cybertron line. Like I had the Cybertron Optimus Prime. I had what was it? There was the Lion guy and everything that went on him. There was Wing Saber. There was, oh, that Megatron was so weird, but so cool at the same time. I had the giant Starscream. Just, they had so many cool, I can't remember the name of the guy or of the figure, but he turned into like a 70s style muscle car. He was a green and black vehicle. I thought that thing was awesome. The Hot Shot was amazing in that line. The Nitro Convoy, or what do they call her here? Override. I mean, that line was so good. It had so many huge hitters. If I were to go back and pick up a line, never mind, make that two, I'd also go back and get the Dark Knight collection from Kenner. Anton, oh, I miss them so much. I especially love the episode, The Raccoons and the Lost Stars, sort of their homage to Star Wars. See, I don't know the Raccoons. Stormy Monday, my friends. Oh, not good, Miss Cogsmith. Not good. Hopefully you're staying out of the storms. I don't like storms. Not so much. Anton is finally cooled off. You're in New Jersey, but August is not over yet. That's true, Anton, but we know that the temperatures are getting a little cooler. Today, it was much cooler in Michigan. Not cold yet. I can still get up in the morning and wear a t-shirt, but it'll get there soon enough. And then I'll be all mad because I didn't appreciate the summer like I should have, even though it was really hot this year. Thanos, there's an extreme set that looks like the Ark. I've seen that set and I want to get it, but every time I see it, it's sold out or crazy pricey. Let's see, Askbrick and Dorklair, the articulation on a Mythic and Cosmic Legion, the Dragon is a great start. The rest need articulation updates. They are beautiful, but they only creep with adding articulation. That's true, Skew, and I know the Knights have better articulation, and I'm okay with their articulation because they're wearing a ton of armor. The skeletons in the, oh my gosh, why am I blanking on it? The most recent wave that came out, those, like I've got the Maxilius, the Harvester, Necronominus. The skeletons in the Necronominus wave, they have a little more bend. So I'm getting better with Mythic Legions, but prior to that, I wasn't into them because of the articulation. But now that the articulation is getting there, and now since I picked up Gideon and Maxilius, I really want to get more. I just need to figure out where they fit, and basically I have to triage the collection. Clank, Toy Hack sells diorama backgrounds from Transformers, TMNT, G.I. Joe, and Motu. Awesome, Clank. Thank you. I will go check out Toy Hacks later. I knew they did stickers. I didn't know they did dios. Big Chuck, right there with you, brother. It's happened to me as well. I chalk it up to I paid to find out. So not a total loss. At least now I know what's doable. Yep. Let's see. Saved by Stabby with Mythic State. Yeah, Stabby would not be happy. It would be bad juju. Star, I was on the fence with the new Hot Toys, Alien, RoboCop, and RoboCane. Almost pulled the trigger. Whew! That was close. Yeah, for me, again, it would just be a scary rabbit hole, and I don't know that I'd be able to take as many cool pictures. I mean, close-ups, they'd be killer, because the paint apps on that stuff just look amazing. But you couldn't really set up battle scenes and that kind of stuff. I am so excited for the Musk to get here, because right now I'm kind of constrained by what I can do as far as pictures are concerned, because my dios aren't super wide. When the Musk gets here, I can set up crazy battle scenes. It's going to be fun. I can't wait. I definitely have my few that I won't sell, or at least wait until I absolutely have no choice. I get that too, Clank, for sure. It's a good day so far, catching up on much needed rest. Oh, Miss Cogsmith, congratulations. It's always nice to just be able to kick back and chill. So hopefully you're getting to do all of that you need to. Big Chuck, I kept my General Grievous, just too cool to give up. He's just a cool design, man. Like any version of Grievous is pretty cool. It's a slippery slope heading down to that rabbit hole. It's going to take some self-control, that's for sure, but I think I can do it. All right, Big Chuck. See, I'm not sure I could. That's why I asked the question, man. But congratulations if you can pull it off. Anton, it was a pleasant time to chat with everybody. Remember, stay happy, be safe, and buy more toys, buy more comic books and graphic novels, and always have fun. You too, Anton, and thanks very much for stopping by tonight. And with that, folks, it is 8:30. I do like to keep these to an hour and a half. I'm going to post in here real quick one more time so you can join up in the Discord. And let me know, guys. Let me know if that is linking. If you can click on what I post, let me know if it links to the Discord so, you don't have to just try and copy and paste. Star brings tears to my eyes every morning when I wake up and see that bare spot on my desk that's reserved for Atom Smasher. That's going to be amazing, though, Star. It's going to be awesome when he shows up. I can't wait for that one either. The HeroBot computer on Toy Hacks might be worth a look. Ooh, I appreciate it, Pixelated. I will definitely check them out. I still can't wait for my Beathir to arrive for my classified fireman to fight. Sci-fi, that's going to be maybe the coolest crossover in toy photography. I can't wait to check that out when you shoot it. Take care, Skew. Have a good night, man. Sniff, of course, he's not here yet. Sniff, don't worry. He will be. He will make it, Star. Whoop! All right, guys. Thanks as always for stopping by this fine evening. It's always great to sit down and talk to you. And as you all know, you could have done anything tonight. You chose to hang out with all of us here, and I really appreciate it. So until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya. I'm assuming that whoop, by the way, was, hey, I could click the link. Thank you, Miss Cogsmith. Have fun, everybody.